Yes, and welcome to another video, and here we have another transfer roundup because there's a lot of news popping and some new names as well, guys. So yeah, loads to fly through on this one. Before we get stuck in, I want to say a massive shout out to today's sponsor. It's the guys at Manscaped. If you don't know what Manscaped are, they basically have designed this, which is the Lawnmower 4.0, and basically it's designed specifically to shave your hairy ball sack to try and get that smooth finish. Now, over 4 million men now are using a version of the Lawnmower to get that smooth finish. It's waterproof, it's got wireless charging, it's got a torch on it as well for that precision Manscaped, just in case you decide that you need to shave your balls at night time. It's got precision sort of shaving technology as well, skin safe technology, which helps reduce all those nicks and cuts because you don't want that on your crown jewels, guys. If you get the performance package as well, you also get the weed whacker, which you can put up your nose in case you got a hairy nose. You get this, which is the ball toner, which smells proper nice. And if you use our code at checkout, which is extra20 XTRA20, you'll get 20% off your order and free international shipping, guys. So a massive shout out to Manscaped. If you're not currently using a lawnmower to shave your ball sack, what are you doing? Get involved. All the details are in the description. Right, we've got some contract news, bro. And this is coming from Fabrizio Romano from the Here We Go podcast. And he's saying, on Phil Foden contract news, Phil Foden will extend his contract with Man City. The club have everything in place for Foden's new deal. City still need to work on some details and then it will be announced. However, this is very, very positive news, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it was in any doubt in my mind that Phil would renew his contract. He absolutely loves City. Do you know what I mean? He's City through and through. I feel like he's one of these players that if City want to keep him forever, which I think they will do, he will stay here for his career. Yeah, I think he absolutely loves City. So I don't see him ever going anywhere else, and I'd be heartbroken if he did. But this is big news. It still is big news. As much as like you can expect Phil Foden, he's going to sign a new contract, it's still big when he does do that because you know that he's going to be extending it. How long for? Obviously, they'll be probably working that out. We've seen City recently going for more of 6-year deals rather than 5-year deals. So we could see Phil Foden go for a full 6-year contract extension, which would be absolutely wild.
Yeah. I mean, he's currently contracted up until 2024. So obviously you can see why City are now starting to go like, we need to get this guy signed
only
up.
2 years there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I want this guy, to be honest, minimum signed up to like, I don't even know, 2026 maybe. You know, I think anything lower than that, then what's the point? I mean, he's already contracted to 2024. No, you're gonna.
I think City'd be pushing for that 6 extras, like the extra years to get to. I think didn't Edison renew recently?
Yeah,
and he signed on for a lot longer. Like I think he's got another 6 years in him now because he signed on that extra bit.
This is the thing, bro. Like I want minimum 2026, but if we can be pushing a few years later than that, then you don't have to worry. But this is positive news coming from Fabrizio Romano. City obviously still needing to work on some details. But what I find out a lot of these things, bro, it's all about timing. You know, City and Phil Foden will want to announce this at the appropriate time, you know. So, yeah, well, that's just to wait. But that is obviously positive news. On some outgoings, a player that's not currently at the club, Taylor Harwood-Bellis has joined Stoke City on loan from Manchester City until the end of the season. So Harwood-Bellis, a player that I rate highly. I think he could have a great career. You know, he's been on loan already, and now he's going to Stoke. So, you know, he's getting some good moves here. Stoke, you know, big club, you know, been in the Premier League, and you know, they'll be hoping that they can put some sort of charge together to try and get back to the Premier League really soon. So, Taylor Harwood-Bellis is going there. That's going to be good for his development. He's not dropping down the lower leagues. That's really good for him. And I think this is a smart move, bro.
Yeah, Stoke have kind of been circling around our players for a bit recently. In summer, they wanted Delap on loan there. Obviously, City rejected that, then he ended up getting injured, unfortunately. But, you know what I mean? It doesn't surprise me that they've gone in for Harwood-Bellis as well. They must have a good relationship with Stoke. And City obviously is a club which will obviously help Harwood-Bellis' career. I like the fact that he's back in the English side of things, you know what I mean? The English game and that. I think this would be... I actually think it'd be a really good move for him. And it'd be good for him to test his ability, you know what I mean? Week in, week out, playing football. Hopefully he starts as much as what we want him to, because... That's the only thing that I don't like about these loan deals is sometimes you see these players go and then they don't get as many games as you'd hope, and then, do you know what I mean, it seems to just stall the development a bit. But I think this is a good move for him. I think it's a really good move for him. Like I say, I think he's got a career in him. So whether or not it's at City or not, I do think he'll be sick. And I think this is the best way to test it. If he can help them, do you know what I mean, put some form of challenge together to, do you know what I mean, help them get up back to their prem. I mean, people will be singing his praises straight up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let us know what your thoughts are on this, guys. Do you think that Taylor Harwood-Bellis could make it as a City player at some point? I've got high hopes for him. I'm not sure whether he's going to make it at City. I don't know. I hope he does, because I think he's a great player and he has a great future potential. I'm just not sure of his seed. I'm not sure what his level's going to be. Yeah. I think this 6 months now for Stoke is going to be a huge 6 months for him personally, and maybe next year will be like a critical year for him. So it'll be interesting. Let us know your thoughts. The final player on the outgoings list, Nathan Ake. Now, we spoke about this guy in our last transfer video when Newcastle were circling. And we brought the news to you there that Nathan Ake wasn't going to be going to Newcastle, so he were not going to let him go. Well, now he's been rumoured to be going to AC Milan. Look, big club, you know what I mean? This is a massive club, and that would surely, you know, tempt him. And if they come in with a good offer, maybe City will be tempted to sell. However, again, the news is resolute from Man City. City are not prepared to let Nathan Ake leave this January transfer window. So we've had, for me, this is it now. This is done. I don't want to really talk about this guy too much more in terms of his departure, because he's been linked with Newcastle, who've got money, and who had his manager, his former manager in Eddie Howe, when he managed him at Bournemouth and did very, very well there, and City have said no. And now AC Milan have been linked, you know, different stature of club, very attractive, and City have said no again. So for me, I don't see this one happening now, bro. I think Nathan Ake will stay here till the end of the season. Yeah,
the thing is as well, look at his form that he's in at the moment. He's absolutely slamming at the moment. So that's just it. That just adds to why I don't think City would let him leave to another club at the moment, because he's like I say, in the form of his City career at the moment. Whether or not he stays here long term after this season, I highly doubt it. I think he's too good to be our fourth choice centre back, and we've said this before. But if he stays here, he's looking likely to win something this season. So, well, you'd hope he'd be winning something this season, especially with the way that everything's going. If I was Nathan Ake personally as well, I'd be wanting to stay at Man City as well till at least the end of the season, because then he could come away with the Premier League medal and then move to another club, then move to an AC Milan, then move to a Newcastle, and at least he's coming away with some form of silverware.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, let's move on to the incomings now, guys. We've got a weird one. A 15-year-old, Endrick. He plays for Palmeiras, and apparently he's being reported as the next Brazilian superstar. He's apparently very, very good. Obviously, we don't know anything about him. I have watched a few videos of him on YouTube, as that's pretty much as far as we can go with someone who's not playing in the proper leagues. He looks very good, you know what I mean? He's playing good. He actually scored, bro. I seen a goal. He scored from his own half.
What?
Yeah, he scored a goal from his own half. Look, this is one of them guys. You know, we might sign him, and you might never hear about him again. We might not sign him, and we don't really know. To be honest, I'm just bringing you the news because he's being dubbed as one of the next big prospects out of Brazil. And from watching a few videos, I can see why. He's very, very talented, bro. But this isn't really something that we need to be thinking about too much at the moment.
No, we love these Brazilian wonder kids. We just got Cakey in it. We just got him. We got this guy, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't surprise me. They stink of CFG signings at the start. They always just stink of CFG. They'll make some cash on it, sell him on. But that's the thing, you take these risks, hopefully sell them for a profit. But if they become a worldie, then they can break into your first team. And it's all a part of the game, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, before we come on to the big ballers, I want to speak about Matheus Franca. He's a 17-year-old, and he plays for Flamengo, I believe. Now, City are apparently really wanting this guy more than they want Endrick. Apparently this is more high up on the list, probably because of his age. He's
closer to being there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's closer to being there. However, apparently Real Madrid really want him, and you know, like, they've got quite a big pull, especially with the Brazilians, so maybe they'll be able to get him above City. Now, he does have $100 million dollar, or euro or pound, I don't know what exact currency, but these have a $100 million release clause. City are obviously not going to pay that for a 17-year-old. However, we know that a lot of these Brazilian teams could do with the cash, you know what I mean? So maybe if we threw 20-30 million at him, we'd end up getting him. Again, guys, not seeing much of this guy, only YouTube videos. If you got any comments, maybe if you're Brazilian, you're a Flamengo fan, you guys are baller, that's to let us know in the comment section below. But what I like about this, bro, whilst it doesn't really get me that excited for the here and now, I like how City are sort of, they're looking for the future. You know what I mean? They know that right now there will be a 17-year-old out there that is going to be the next Ballon d'Or winner in 10 years' time. And whilst we might never get him, it shows that we're looking for them and we're actively going out and looking around the world with our global scouting network and going, we think he might be that player. And, you know, they will buy players, bro, for 20 million and they'll turn out to be trash. That will happen. It's a gamble. But I like how they're trying. You know, they're actually trying to find these players, which, you know, I commend. I think it's good.
Yeah, because they're not, like I say, they're not like looking at, like, do you know what I mean, this team now. They're not looking at the next like the next team of Man City. They're looking like far ahead into the future, especially when you're talking about 15-year-olds and that 17-year-olds. This is like future stars, isn't it? That we're trying to get, and then hopefully they can make it into the first team. Like I say, they can win the Ballon d'Ors and stuff. And it's basically it's about scouting. Basically, it's all about our scouting network, how good it is, and it's a risk because it's always a risk. You can never really predict the way that a player's career is going to go. It can always just fall off a cliff so easy. So, do you know what I mean? Like you say, some players will be trash, but you just got to hope you find the diamond in the rough, innit?
It's like with the Cakey thing, you know what I mean? Like, Cakey could turn out to be absolutely mint. Great news for us. He goes into the first time, he goes on to be a brilliant player. It could turn out to be average. We sort of get our money back, happy. Or it could turn out to be a flop. Like, no one really knows. You know what I mean? We all have our opinions on where these players will go, and we think we know about the players, and we think we have an idea of where they'll end up. But to be honest, knowing it, and like you say, bro, things can turn very quickly, you know? So it's one of them things. But again, good that City looking
It's a
ahead.
CFG gamble, bro.
It's a CFG gamble. That's what it's all about. Right, okay, to the big players. And Kingsley Coman, apparently Manchester City have contacted his family as they do his negotiations and do his contracts and stuff, and said basically would he be interested in a move to City. However, we think that this is again just sort of, you know, talk basically. Kingsley Coman basically going to, you know, renew his contract, and I think that this is just a leak that's coming out from his camp to try and get, you know, Bayern to maybe push up the wages a little bit. I have absolutely 0% belief that this deal will happen, and I think this is just purely and simply Kingsley Coman and his agent and whatever trying to get a better deal out of Bayern Munich, bro.
If this came out a couple of months back when we was all talking about Raheem Sterling being like absolutely dusted at City, then I could maybe believe it a little bit. But now I don't see a signing Kingsley Coman. You know, it's a weird player, Kingsley Coman. I think he's had quite a few injury issues in his career so far, but he's won so much. He's been, you know what I mean? He's been at PSG, he's been at Juventus, he's been at Bayern. He's won absolutely loads. It's unreal. So, do you know what I mean? He's probably one of the highest, like, awarded, do you know what I mean, youngsters out there, well, players out there, especially with his age. But I don't see City going anywhere near this. And every single time I hear Kingsley Coman's name come up, never in my head have I ever thought, oh, yeah, City will go for him. I just don't see it being a City signing ever. No. And I feel like it stinks of what Lewandowski's trying to do and just get more wages.
I know. But, you know, we are the team that you throw out there. If you're playing, you want to get your team to get you a better contract, you say Man City are interested in you, you know? That's just the way it is. Right, let's move on to strikers then. Atletico Madrid can sell João Felix to Manchester City, but that will be a process that would only evolve at the end of the season, so no January transfer for João Felix. Now, this is interesting because I keep flip-flopping with Joao Felix, right? I don't really want him, to be honest. And the reason I don't want him is not because I don't rate him or don't like him. It's because I want an out-and-out striker. You know, that's what I want.
Yeah.
However, if for some reason we are just unable to get Haaland, unable to get Kane, unable to get Vlahovic, whatever, and City then decide that a false nine is the way that they're going to proceed for the next few years, then I will be interested in Joao Felix. But it's sort of like a completely different strategy of the football club, because if we get Joao Felix, for me, we're basically saying false nine is what we're going to play now for the considerable future, you know what I mean? Whereas I ideally want a striker, you know, an out-and-out striker, one of the names that I've just mentioned. So for me, look, I would be interested in Joao Felix if we don't get a striker, but I don't really want to be playing false nine forever. I kind of would like a striker in my football team at some point, you know? That's my view on it. I know some people would differ. I don't know what you're thinking, bro.
There's always so long the meme of having no striker can continue. Do you know what I mean? It can't go on forever, us not having a striker. But getting Joao Felix does make that kind of like up there because, like I say, that'd be City. That's City basically saying, yeah, we're doubling down on false nine. That is it now. For remainder of Pep will be false nine season. Do you know what I mean?
Which, it might still do good. You know what I mean?
It could work in it. It could. Like, if this happens, right, we could be looking at this and we've won the title for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? We could absolutely slam. But like I want a striker. I think it's no secret that you both we want a striker. We'd love for us to go in somewhere and get like a big dog. Do you know what I mean? Erling Haaland would be absolutely sick. Vlahovic would be absolutely sick. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. But I was actually thinking about this today, and I was thinking like it is a good if City do want to go false nine, it's a very 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 good option to go for it. And as well, the fact that Joao Felix is kind of in chains at Atletico Madrid because the way they play football, especially they've just gone and got Griezmann back, and I think they'll probably make that permanent. I think he will be available. So I think it's fully plausible that City could just go. Funnily enough, it's fully plausible that City could just go all summer trying to sign Erling Haaland, then probably to Vlahovic, then probably to Harry Kane, waste all summer, and then in the last week in August they go, right, they're not coming. We're gonna have to get Joao Felix.
Yeah,
that's my 2022 prediction. That
we'll have to wait and see. I still think it's unlikely that deal will happen. I do think we'll sign a striker, but I think that the option is there on the table. And maybe come the end of the season, maybe Pep will have a conversation with the board and say, you know what, this false nine is working. Get me someone who can play that role, or maybe they'll say, you know what, we do actually need a striker. And finally, the big dog. Not a day goes by without us being linked with this man, and it's Erling Haaland yet again. Now, the Athletic are saying that Man City are very keen on Erling Haaland. Now, City believe that Real Madrid are in pole position to secure his services right now, but City want to be in the race until it's completely done. We have the finances ready. We are able to bid for him. We can compete with Real Madrid. The only thing we can't compete with Real Madrid is whether or not Haaland has a preference of going to Real Madrid. Now, we've heard of rumours that he prefers going to Spain. However, these are only rumours. I don't think he's ever actually said it personally. If he has, let us know in the comments, but I don't think he has. But this is just sort of what's coming out, and you guys know there's no smoke without fire. So we'll have to see what's happening here. The Athletic is saying that City have the finances available and that we're in for him and that we'll be into him until he signs a contract with whoever else. So basically, we're taking this to the death. But it's kind of a weird one to say because on one hand I'm like, gutted, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like City are saying that we're not really favourites, but at the same time, it also says that City have the finances there and that we are ready to deploy this cash. So it's a weird one, bro. I don't know how to take that.
I think he wants Madrid. I do think he wants Madrid. Personally, I know I don't, like you say, I don't think he's ever come out and said that. I think it'd be very unwise for him to come out and say that because you're basically murking yourself. And transfer wise, I mean, he could get more wages by keeping both clubs in the race. I think it will be between Madrid and City. I think they're the two clubs. He will be at one of these clubs come the end of the summer transfer window. That's the way I see it. Like you say, it's mint. It's really good to hear us having the finances available, ready to just full send it, because that's something that we've all not really known, and we're all like, are City really going to pay that money? Well, City look like they're ready. They're ready to pay that money. They're ready to go, Haaland, we want him. And it's all up to the player now.
Well, think about it, bro. I mean, it makes sense because reportedly we made a bid of 100 million for Kane, maybe more, but 100 million was definitely made. Well, we already know that Haaland's release clause is 75 million, so that's 25 million spare. And even if this Donny, Raiola, wants like 30, 40 million, then you kind of already got that money available anyway because you had 100 million last year. So it does make sense that City have this money available. It's just, do they want to pay Raiola whatever money he wants,
Bro, the 300 million pound war chest has to come out at some point.
Still not,
so you know what I mean?
Revealed.
Now's the time. Now's the time to unleash it. Khaldoon, do the business.
I think it's there, ready to be deployed, bro. But I mean, that sums up your transfer roundup, guys. So some interesting news there for me. The key news there is the Phil Foden news. I think that's great that he's looking like he's going to extend his time at City, which is obviously brilliant for us. We don't want to be running that contract down.
No.
And, the Erling Haaland one, I think, coming from the Athletic, for me, hearing that City are ready, and it sounds like City are ready to battle, you know what I mean, to get Haaland. It doesn't sound to me like if Haaland went, I think I want to go Real Madrid, City will go, all right, no worries in a bit. It sounds like they're ready to, try and get this Haaland thing over the line.
It's almost like they're going, oh, what's that? You want to go Real Madrid? Well, nah, here's why you need to come to City.
Yeah.
This is why you need to come here. Absolutely put in a fight in rather than just rolling over and go, oh, we only want players that want to be here.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, guys. You have to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Massive shout out to the guys at Manscaped, guys. If you've not already grabbed one, do, you know what I mean? Like, over 4 million men worldwide are currently using a lawnmower. Don't be one of those guys who are not using the lawnmower and turn out with a big bush, because it ain't cool, guys. Massive shout out to them. Get yourself 20% off and free shipping by using the code EXTRA20. All the details are in the description. If you've liked the video, please smash a thumbs up on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we've got loads of tier 3 streams coming up this week as well, so make sure you check that out. We'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.